Thanks for the support as a channel member, Jack Watson. Well, this is going to be an interesting transfer special / job hunt. I'm going into it fully expecting to be leaving Spurs, either because they force me out or I find something better. But there's every chance that won't happen, and we might end up doing some transfers instead. Or we might do the transfers first and then get another job. Who knows? I genuinely have no idea. I almost feel like I should record this intro after I've made the episode, so I at least have a clue how long it's going to be. Sit back, grab yourself a nice cup of tea, and enjoy what's, at the very least, going to be an interesting ride. Hello and welcome to Club 4, part 39 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, no idea. Absolutely no idea. You can see manager performance. We've got an E. The board are deeply saddened by my leadership of the team. If we have a look at job security, you can see that I'm very insecure in my job, as is the Bayern manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who Man City finished 6th, is only insecure, but the Barcelona job is also insecure. So there are a couple of big jobs that could potentially be coming up this summer. And of course, if one of them does become available, there's the chance that a managerial merry-go-round will start as well. So there's probably going to be jobs available. I do feel a little bit hard done by the whole thing, because if we have a look at the schedule, we've only lost one league game this year, and that was against Arsenal. Yeah, it was a poor defeat. But then you have to go all the way back to December for the last time we lost. And everything that's gone wrong this season can all be tracked back to this run of form here, from sort of October into mid-November, where we had several players unavailable through injury. We lost to Man United. We lost to we lost to United, beat Palace, lost to Liverpool, drew against Birmingham, and then also drew against Southampton. That little run there, if we don't have that run, we've got an extra, 9-10 points, and we could have potentially won the league. That's where this season turned. I do feel a little bit hard done by. We have been the form team for the second half of this season, but we were just too far behind. We left it too late. So part of me thinks if I were to stay at Tottenham, which is a big if, because they still might sack me yet, if we have a look at Club Vision, they're not happy with me at all. I failed every goal this season. So, but if I were to stay, I genuinely think we could win the league next year without really having to do much in the way of transfers. And they've given me a lot of money to do transfers with, again, if I manage to stay. So I think we just need to hit continue a few times and see if they sack me. And if they don't sack me immediately, work on the assumption that I'm in this job for at least the start of next season. And if we don't start well, I might get sacked in September. Or, of course, if one of those other big jobs comes up, I am going to be applying for them, because I'm not against jumping before I'm pushed. So we are going to be keeping a very close eye on Bayern Munich, on Barcelona, on any of these big jobs, and applying for any of the ones that interest me. But yeah, none of this seems to... Wesley Fernando, 3rd place for Golden Boot. Jair wins Young Player of the Year. I think that's the 2nd year in a row he's won that. He's not been anywhere near the same player this year, I don't think. He's not done as many Jair things, but I guess a 7.49 is still a very solid season for someone as young as he is, but only 4 assists compared to 17. That's the big difference we've noticed with Jair this year. Francisco, 3rd place for Golden Glove as well. It looks to me like I'm not getting sacked immediately. So we will wait until the season review stuff comes up. We'll do that. And then we'll go about having a normal summer. Unless jobs become available, which none of them have yet. So here we have the season review stuff. So this is now the new Tottenham all-time best 11. Rott has made it into the all-time best 11. So it's now Pickford in goal, Sessegnon, Banfalvi, Van Houston and Milenkovic at the back. Ndombele and Gravenberch in midfield. Ali, Gibbs-White and Sancho supporting Kane up front. Obviously, Jadon Sancho not in for his exploits while I was manager, that's for sure. But, I mean, that is largely a bunch of players that I managed. Ndombele is the only one who wasn't here under me. And there are a few more on the bench that were before my time. But it does show just how good this group of players has been. Oh, we've got to win the league. I've got to stay and win the league, surely. End of season awards, Gravenberch gets player of the year, and it couldn't have gone to anybody else. He has had a fantastic season. Jair in second place, Vargas in third. I agree with all of that. Goal of the season goes to Jefferson Camelli. Bearing in mind you've barely seen him play, for him to win goal of the season, this must have been a spectacular one. I don't remember him scoring. This must have been another one of those sat on the sofa late at night, not really aware of what's going on goals. Oh, it's just a free kick. And it was in the 9-0 win. Or was it a 9-0 win? I don't think that was necessarily anything special. Philippe gets signing of the season, despite some aspects of the comment section thinking he's the reason that we flopped. I know really you all think it was me, but replacing Sessegnon with him at this stage was possibly... It's been controversial. And Jair, young player of the year. Team of the season, Francisco in goal. Back four, Philippe, Banfalvi, Rodriguez and Jair. Vargas at the base of the midfield. Carter and Gravenberch ahead of him. Rott behind George and Fernando. Other stats, Fernando top scorer on 24 goals. Gravenberch top average rating and most assists. But not as many assists as Jair got last year. Francisco best pass completion. Says a lot about our midfield when the goalkeeper wins that. Gravenberch most man of the match awards. And Naughty Boys Club is headed up by Banfalvi with 15 yellows and 1 red. But several players getting red cards this year, which again is another problem because a few of them happened in big games and they were turning points in big games. We underachieved in everything, so if we are here for another year, and here we go. Here we go. Board request meeting to discuss manager's future. Your performance hasn't been good enough. Your position is under serious threat. All right, let's see what they've got to say. We're not happy with your current performance and are considering a position at the club. We'd like to know why you think the team have performed so badly. I mean, it literally was that run of injuries, but I'm going to say that and they're going to say, nah, there's not been any injuries for ages. And my response is, yeah, I know. The injuries were 10 months ago, but we've been brilliant since then. The number of injuries in the squad isn't that bad. We do not see this as a valid reason. Well, it is. That's literally what happened. Tell me what I need to do to save my job. We'll give you some more time, but we expect to see you pick up 9 points in the next 5 games. So I've got the first 5 games of next season to save my job if I stay. I can do that. I won't let you down. I mean, I've got to be able to do that because I would expect more points than that if we're to be challenging to win the league. And if I'm still here, we have to be. So Sessegnon, Banfalvi and Kane are our team leaders. Kane is retiring and becoming a youth coach this summer, so someone else will step up into the void left by him. And yeah, so we've survived for now. Did other managers maybe not survive? We'll just hit continue once more, because if they've all had their scary meetings, there might have been some sackings that have gone on. So they've this is the new board now. This shows that they're not as bothered about a lot of the stuff that Daniel Levy was interested in. This is the first summer. Oh, why is that still Daniel Levy? He left. Did I dream a takeover happening? Daniel Levy's not here anymore. I don't understand. So Daniel Levy no longer at the club. But that being said, he still turned up for the club vision meeting, apparently. And they're not the sort of things he used to set. This is weird. So they still want players through the club's youth system and entertaining football, but that whole signing under 23 players, signing English players, never signing anyone over the age of 30, all that is gone. They just want to keep using the youth system and play entertaining football, stay within the wage budget, make lots of money. They want to challenge for the Premier League title next year, get to the semi-final of the Champions League. That is all very, very achievable. I've still got 3 years left on my contract. So sack me if you're rich. But that's interesting to see just how much in one season they've decided to change the culture of the club. And it's moved away from all of that other stuff I was being judged on early on, which did have a big impact on how I managed the club. We signed a lot of young players because I was told to sign young players. We spent last summer trying to bring in English players because I was told to bring in English players. None of that matters anymore. It's now just about entertaining football, making money and winning stuff. This feels like my kind of club all of a sudden. Another interesting development from Mr. Newman, who apparently has now morphed into Fergus Saunders, our new managing director. The board have announced plans to enlarge the stadium by 3,250 seats. It's going to cost 20 million quid, take 3 months, brings the new stadium capacity up to 65,464. This club definitely feels like it's building towards something that I don't know if I'm going to be invited to be a part of. We will find out. I mean, they can't sack me now until 5 games into the new season, surely. Further to that, it seems my managerial performance has changed from an E to a C just by going to a meeting. If I'm now going to be judged on my performance at admin tasks and meeting attendance, we're going to be fine. Big news, folks. The Bayern Munich job is available and I have just applied for it. This is a little bit of a worry. Dominant for 20 years and then has fallen off the pace a little bit. Finished 4th this year. Suggests a team full of old men where a rebuild job is going to be needed. In fact, it looks like I've had a look at this before. I must have done this in the last episode, maybe. Alex Catamol. He'd be devastated if I arrived. Froze him out at Spurs for 4 years. He finally gets his move. Did he get some game time? Oh, look at that. Got some lovely game time. And then I'm here to freeze him out again. So that's an option. In transfer news, George is now on the transfer list. He's not actually been offered out to anybody because I don't want him to go, but he is refusing to sign a new contract. So with a year left to run, he's on the transfer list, and if anyone comes in for him, they can have him, which would be a shame because he'd forced his way back into the team in the second half of last season. But he wants about 10 different promises before discussing a contract with me. I'm not getting involved in, yes, I promise to hire you a better coach. Yes, I promise to play you as a complete forward, even though I will. I'm not going to promise him any of this stuff. Yes, I promise to win the Premier League. I don't do contract promises. No negotiation on that. So if he won't just sign a new contract, he won't even come to the table now. So George is probably on his way out, which we needed to get rid of a striker anyway. If he ends up being the one, then so be it. And I've also made a move for the one player I want this summer, which is an attacking midfielder, Ronaldo Camara from Manchester United, 27-year-old Portuguese international, can play central midfield as well, but we're really bringing him in specifically to play in this attacking midfield role, although he's going to have to compete with Rott and Gravenberch for it because according to the star ratings, he's not as good as either of them are at that role, but he's an actual proper attacking midfielder, so at least it'd be nice to have him as an option in the squad. Look, he scores goals and stuff, which is nice. So if we bring him in, that's business done, I think. I don't think we need anything else. I think this squad is a very good squad, as we showed with our form in the second half of the season. I better not take that attitude into any potential interview with Bayern Munich. I think it's fair to say I have an unusual relationship with K.O. George. He's just won Premier League Player of the Month. He's dedicated the award to me. Let's see if he'll discuss a contract with me. No. He remains on the transfer list. Weird relationship here. Another development to spark the merry-go-round fire. Chelsea, who have just won the Premier League for the first time in a long time, first time since 2017, their manager's just retired after 5 years. So that's another big club who are going to be looking for a manager. I'm not linked to it. I'm top of the sack race predictions. But the managers who are linked to it, Klopp is at Atletico. Tuchel is at Barcelona and was under threat. And he is at, I don't want to go to Cologne, but the other two, they're both potential destinations for me. At the moment, there's still just the Bayern Munich job that interests me. But Chelsea could mix things up a little bit here. Ronaldo Camara is in, as mentioned before, 27 years old, proper attacking midfielder, and just slots straight into the squad as an option for us in there. Been at Manchester United for the last 3 years, and that's me done. Signings wise, I genuinely don't think we need another player. If we look at our squad depth, we've got too many very good strikers. Attacking midfield, we're solid. Central midfield, defensive midfield, defence. Marcos, our 5th choice centre back, has just made his Brazil debut. So, that gives you some context for how good he is and how strong we are at the back. We've got Philippe and Sessegnon, we've got Jair and Comelli, we've got Francisco, 2 England internationals as our backup keepers. I cannot improve this squad. So now we wait. We either get another job. Oh, hang about. What's this? My head of youth development's trying to spend 10 million quid. What's he up to? On a winger, no less. An 18-year-old, I mean, he's 5-star, but I don't care. He can do that. Oh, we got a big name signing to boost some shirt sales as well, which is lovely stuff. And, we've got loan players returning, including Kieran Hodgkinson, one of our channel members. Let's see what he's been up to. He's had a decent season on loan at Fylde. The other one we've got in this save, I think, is Ryan Lawson, who is still at West Ham, having left last summer, and didn't play any games. So that's what he's been up to. So there are 2 channel members. And now it's just a waiting game. Am I going to get a job somewhere else? Are there any other jobs that appeal to me yet? Not really. So there's been no news of interviews for that one. So we're either going to wait and just have the seasonal start, and then I'll try not to get sacked, or we'll get a big job in the meantime. I told you it's going to be a weird summer. I just can't help myself when I see a 21-year-old elite centre-back who's still got potential to improve that we can bring in. Peter Serra is as good as Banfalvi. I would say we now have the 2 best centre-backs, certainly the 2 best young centre-backs in the world. I love my hyperbole, but he is in. We've now got 6 very, very good centre-backs. There have been offers in already this summer for Leo Guerrero, and I think we're probably going to let him go because I just don't see how he ever gets in this team. We've got Banfalvi, Serra, Rodriguez, Fotheringham, who needs to stick around because he's English, Marcos, who's already now playing for Brazil, but then so is Guerrero. Guerrero's got 11 caps for Brazil. We just don't need them all. It's a similar situation at centre-back to what we've got up front. We've got too many very, very good players. We can't fit them all into a squad, but I couldn't turn this guy down. He's 6'7". You know how much I love a 6'7" centre-back. Plus, he's natural at being a defensive centre-back, whereas one of the issues we had last year is both of these two want to be the covering centre-back. So we can now play either of them with the new guy, and we get to have one on cover and one on defend, which I quite like doing. So I really, really, really promise we're finished this time because that is everything gone. And in fact, we need to sell to come back inside our wage budget, which we will do. Probably. This is where I go. Just jump ship now. I've done my final bit of spending. Is there any more jobs that have become available? So that one's still there. Diego Simeone still favourite for it. But nothing else that interests. So we continue. In other news, we now know what our first 5 fixtures of the new season are going to be. These are the games where we need to get 9 points from these 5 games. West Ham, Birmingham, Barnsley, Liverpool, Watford. I've got to feel like I could get at least 12 points. I think 9 points from them should be more than doable. We just have to look at the form we were in at the end of last season. Pick any 5-game spell and we're getting more than 9 points out of them. So I think we'll be fine saving the job. And I genuinely, with those 2 new signings, genuinely will be surprised if I'm still here if we don't win the league. We have to. It's happening, boys and girls. One of the reasons the board has decided to offer you an interview is because they feel you'd be a good fit for the club's highly ambitious vision for the future. This is mainly as a result of your deep commitment towards not signing players over the age of 30. They obviously aren't familiar with Harry Kane from last summer. Let's attend that interview. Well, to be fair, I think he's the only over 30 I've signed. Certainly since I moved to Barnsley. I imagine lower down there would have been some. Right, I don't need to speak the language. Football is a oh my, I was literally going to say that sentence. Oh, I feel dirty. Is that how much Football Manager I've played? I can learn German. I did German GCSE. I have a C in German GCSE. Karl-Heinz. Oh, it's Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. How are you doing? I have some reservations regarding the fact you've never managed in this country. I mean, have you seen how well I've done with Tottenham? Of course, I've got my international experience. I forgot about that. It could be suggested you've been underperforming for your current job. It is just a blip. Look at the season before. You've previously been embroiled in media controversies. That happened a long time ago. I don't remember that ever happening, but it always comes up in interviews. The club would be looking to compete. Yeah, we can. I've got a good record of meeting expectations, just not this season. Our new manager will be given considerable resources. Would you be able to spend the money responsibly? I mean, I've got a good transfer record. I think, look at the squad I've assembled. It's tactics I can't do. I can assemble you a wonder squad. I like to think I'm capable of even greater. I'll certainly take... No, I mean, I have a big budget at Spurs. Yes, I can work with a director of football. I just make one change. A small budget. I want to bring somebody in who can speak English and German. So possession football. Oh, here we go. Sign players based in Germany and German players. players under the age of 23, no one over the age of 30. It's like going back into Tottenham. There's so much stuff in the 5-year plan. Maintain position as the most reputable club in Germany, work within wage budget, best youth system in the country, best youth system in the world, apparently, at Bayern Munich. Build a new stadium. Well, how am I possibly responsible for whether or not you decide to build a new stadium or not? End of this season, want a Champions League quarter-final and to challenge for the Bundesliga. So lower expectations than at Spurs, who want to challenge for the Premier League and get a Champions League semi-final, and then reach the final of the German Cup, and then win the Bundesliga next year and continue to win it from then on. So they're giving me 1 year to rebuild, basically, while still challenging. I think that's real. Wowzers. £224 million. I thought I had money to spend at Spurs. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do nicely. And a £6 million wage budget. Holy smokes, I want this job. The only drawback is having to sign players based in Germany. Although, having said that, Banfalvi is German, I think. So he would be absolute top of my list. Didn't I sign him from them? Oh, no, from Wolfsburg. So absolutely top of the shopping list would be Banfalvi if I go there, because he's German. I think he's my only German. But I'd definitely take him and make him captain. I think it's the obvious thing to do. 25 years old, already 89 caps for Germany. That would be a proper marquee signing. That's, of course, assuming I get the job. So now we play the waiting game to see if I end up getting offered a job there. I still expect a merry-go-round to begin. Chelsea's still looking for a manager. So we'll see how it develops. Oh, my word. This is the hardest decision I've had to make in non-league to legend ever, I think, because it's not at all straightforward. Bayern Munich have offered me the job, but they're only offering me £140,000 a week on a 3-year contract. At Tottenham, I'm on £215,000 a week. And I have 3 years left on my contract here as well. But obviously, I could get sacked 5 games into the new season, but it's very unlikely that I would. But if I did, I'd get a payoff anyway. So financially, staying at Tottenham is the thing to do. Let's just negotiate and see if we can get the salary up to the same level. What was it, 215? Is that what it was? I've already forgotten what I was on at Tottenham. Money's that important to me. £215,000 a week. So we need them to match it, I think, as per the rules. That's what I'm on. I need that. I need help. I don't think I've ever done this before in the history of this series. But I'm going to put a poll up. And you can tell me what you think the right thing to do is, because there are very strong arguments for and against. Because ultimately, when I'm earning the amount of money that I'm earning, I'm rich. I think we had a look on the last live stream transfer window. We had a look to see, where is it? Career overview. Is that where it tells you how? So I've earned £56 million in my 11-year career. I'm not short of a few quid, but I love chairs. And ultimately, I'm not going to be able to buy as many chairs on £140,000 a week as I can on £215,000 a week. They don't seem willing to increase their offer, but I am under threat at Spurs. But on the flip side, I've got a team that I'm certain is going to win the league, especially with the 2 new players we've added to it. So, do we see Spurs out for another year and then leave, knowing that at that point, apparently, even the major European clubs are going to give me a pay cut when the time comes? Or do we take the pay cut now to make sure I'm saving my reputation, head to the Bundesliga, win the league with Bayern Munich, and then circle back round? Because I want to win the Premier League as part of this save this year. We didn't win the Premier League last year, and it hurts. I want to circle back round, and if we leave, I want it. I want La Liga. I want Serie A. I want to win lots of leagues. I just don't know whether to take this job or not. There is a poll, and it's in the top corner thing. Vote in it. You've only got like this evening to vote, because tomorrow morning I'll be recording tomorrow's episode. So whatever that poll tells me tomorrow morning when I sit down to make this video is what I'm going to end up doing. I genuinely, I could flip a coin and not be happy with either outcome. I want to do both. Will they let me do both? I need to sleep on this and think it through. If you've enjoyed that video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.